that one single experience just completely rocked our entire world.
A bearded man.
It then changed the course of all of our lives forever. And suicide is something that, in my opinion, was reserved for the media.
For every person who dies by suicide, more than 355 people seriously consider it and do not die by suicide. Next, a montage of photos shows adults of various ages, genders, and ethnicities. Graphic. Text appears against a blue background. 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Faces of the 988 Lifeline. Next, the bearded man. Marshal Sewell, 5th generation farmer, Mind Your Melon.
So many words come to mind to me when I think about what it means to be a farmer, and it does carry a sense of pride. To me, it's culture and it's heritage, and I've even said before that farming isn't just a job, farming isn't a career, it's an identity. So a lot of times in this industry that comes with this huge sense of pride. My family's been doing this for X amount of years. My great-granddad started this operation. When I hear that nowadays, not only do I hear pride, but that almost also brings with it this connotation of stress. And you don't ever want to be the generation that loses the family farm. Farm stress is sort of a melting pot, just this great big amalgamation of multiple types of stressors. It's something that you don't really talk about. It's taboo. And it's stigmatized because we've got this, bootstrap it mentality where we've really just kind of got to suck it up and get through this issue and move on to the next one, because that's farming and ranching. In my senior year of high school, it started out sort of like no other.
A photo of Marshall as a toddler with his dad and baby brother.
Was that we would try to have all of our strawberry plants in the ground in the fall time, and then hopefully by mid-November, Thanksgiving time, we would start picking through some of our first strawberries. And actually had the unfortunate loss of my dad my senior year of high school after we had a crop disaster that year and lost him to suicide. Not only did we have to manage the grief and the loss of my dad, but on top of that, we also had this multi-generational fruit and vegetable operation that it was our livelihood. It was our source of income, our career, and that one single experience just completely rocked our entire world. It then changed the course of all of our lives forever. And suicide is something that, in my opinion, was reserved for the media. It was something in the headlines that you saw in the evening news or in the morning newspaper. It wasn't until it really happened to us that it impacted me and my family and our entire community. And it was at that point I really wanted to commit myself to learning more and more about what may have been impacting my dad. And so Mind Your Melon finally came about approximately a year ago when my wife and my family and I, we were talking about, what this actually was.
A photo of Marshall with his blonde wife.
With a stoic industry, especially a super traditional conservative industry like farming and ranching, we're like, we'll just try to encourage people, make it a little bit more light than just talking mental health and farm stress, and just remind people to mind their melon. And that's sort of been the premise of it. We've just been wanting to gradually chip away at that surface level and destigmatize the topic of overall well-being. And the more and more I thought about it, I said, of all the ways I could potentially honor my dad and just try to bring something good out of a really negative time, that seemed like the right opportunity. I try to make sure and remind everybody whenever we have this conversation that they are the most valuable asset on that operation. And their equipment, their animals, their land deserves time and deserves work. So why are they any different? So for anybody struggling, you deserve to take care of yourself. You have the time to take care of yourself, and it does not make you any weak or less strong to want to take care of yourself or to admit that you might need some help. And despite the challenges or despite the issues that we might be facing on a daily basis, we're never alone. There's always somebody here within our support system or within our network, and that's the main thing. Just remembering that each and every one of us matter, and there's always somebody to turn to.
988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.